Hi, I'm Jean Nolte, editor at Fons & Porter.
And I'm Colleen Tauke. I'm the sewing specialist for Fons & Porter. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to create the quilt called Bento box.
To get the pattern for this quilt, go to shopfonsandporter.com/quiltingquickly. Well, this is kind of a fun quilt. It's batiks. It's made from all 2.5-inch strips. You need 30 lights and 30 darks, or contrasting. Some of these are kind of medium, but they work. So what you're going to do is take your 30 strips and pair a light with a dark, or pair 2 contrasting strips.
Those strips are going to be together to create your block. So what I usually do is go to the table and lay out the strips and pair up things that I like that go together.
Get 30 pairs before you ever start. So the first thing we're going to do is
we square off 2 strips on top of each other.
These are the 2 that are going to be 1 block. So there's only 2 fabrics per block. So I'm going to just trim off the ends of all of them there.
Take away the selvage edge.
Okay, now I'm going to rotate this around.
Gently turn it so that you have everything nice and squared on one end. And this is called speed cutting.
You're cutting a whole block pretty quickly. I'll have a whole block cut here. So the first thing we're going to cut is a 6.5-inch segment. Okay,
one time through,
just once. So you get 2 of each kind of fabric, and those are C.
Block C, or piece C.
Right. So now I'm going to cut a 4.5-inch piece, 1 and 2.
Double check to make sure that you're actually on the 4.5 line. You're on the right side of your ruler.
Okay, so the 4.5-inch ones are B, and then we need 2.5-inch pieces. 1.
Since we're going through quite a few layers, it might be a time to make sure the rotary blade is good and sharp.
And that's how much waste there is.
Yeah.
Not very much.
Waste not, want not.
So those last little squares are going to be
block
A.
Piece A.
So now we are ready to lay out 4 quadrants of our block. So we're going to start here with 1A. Put that aside. Now I need an A of the other kind, and I need a B that matches that one.
This is all about being aware of placement. You want colors to make kind of an L shape so that they continue on.
Then we're going to have a B over here and a C.
Get them apart.
Over
and you'll
here.
notice these colors then continue making that L shape. Same here. Now we're going to do its opposite.
This is a little trickier. Now we got to do the mirror image of it, kind of.
And we talked about cutting 2 at once, or 2 fabrics at once. It really does make this go quite quickly.
Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of these out of the way here. So
The fun part is using all those different prints and strips to make this wonderful contrast of colors that kind of flow back and forth on this quilt. Batiks are so yummy when we get into them. Sometimes you see one on the shelf and you take it down, and as you start to unroll it, you're thinking, maybe I need half a yard, maybe I need a whole yard. Because as you unroll the bolt, the colors just get more and more saturated.
All right. I think I'm going to come out right here.
Yep. There we
I
go.
have the right number of pieces. Okay, so you
double
see
check is
2
to
like
make sure you've got opposites here.
So these have the reddish color in the center
And the outer edge.
and the outside,
Center and outer edge.
and the orangey one in the middle. Here, these have the orangey one on the center and the outside, and the reddish one there. So what you do now is you just join these in alphabetical order. So you join the 2 A's, then you add this B, and then C, and let's bring in that one that's already done.
Everything you needed to know about quilting you learned in kindergarten, A, B, C.
So you can see the 4 quadrants here in this block, and that's your block. It's really a simple block. It's kind of like a log cabin.
In some ways, yes. And it's a great contrast of lights and darks. A lot of times we are a little scared of what's going to happen with contrast, and this is a great way to experiment with contrast.
So you'll take your 30 blocks,
and
make rows of 5, and you'll need 6 rows. When you join those rows, your quilt top is done.
Thanks for joining us today.
To see more of our videos, go to video.fonsandporter.com.